So it's been almost 2 years since I wrote the article about why not to study Spanish in Puerto Rico. And for the last 2 years, I've been hearing from my Puerto Rican wife, from her sister as well, and from a lot of other people that I'm just completely wrong about this. And I wanted to make this video to clarify exactly what I'm talking about here. This article, if you read it, is based on two fundamental points. One, that the vocabulary used in Puerto Rico in many respects is very different from the vocabulary used in other countries, and so if you're in Puerto Rico learning the Spanish vocabulary from Puerto Rico, it's not going to be applicable to other places. The second point is that if you are a foreigner trying to speak Spanish in Puerto Rico, you will oftentimes run into people that switch to English with you right away. Whether that's because they're trying to help you out, make it easier for you, or they're looking to practice their English. In the end, it doesn't really matter. What it comes down to is that you are not in full immersion and you don't have the opportunity to practice the language like you would in most other countries. Now, there are of course reasons that some people want to study specifically in Puerto Rico, and they're legitimate reasons. For example, you don't need a passport if you're a US citizen to go there, and you can just fly down there on a last-minute trip. In fact, I ran into somebody who did just that when I was in Puerto Rico recently, and I asked her why she'd chosen Puerto Rico to learn Spanish. That was her reason. It was a last-minute trip, a last-minute opportunity she had, and Puerto Rico was the only place she could go without getting her passport. And there's also other things you can do to mitigate these two main factors that I mentioned. You can get outside of San Juan. You can spend most of your time outside of San Juan. That will help a little bit there as well. But you need to keep in mind that if you're going to go to Puerto Rico, you're going to run into these two challenges that you will not run into at the same level that you would in any other country. So I know this has been a very polemic post for people. Believe me, I've heard about it around my house for 2 years now, and I still get yelled at for writing that article. However, I still stand pat with what I said, that it's a difficult place to learn Spanish because of those two reasons. Now, I'm not saying that just from my experience. I've spoken in detail with my brother about this as well, who happened to have learned, in fact, he learned and became fluent in Spanish in Puerto Rico. And speaking with him, he feels exactly the same way that I do about this. So I would say before committing to it, understand what the obstacles are and understand what those obstacles are compared to other countries. And so hopefully the idea is that you just make the correct decision for you. Thanks. Hope that helps. Oh, by the way, I hope that calms things down in the house too a little bit.